Well. On these YouTube streets. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. This is your home girl, Barbosa 914, which is the county of New York, the BT 1000, the only original BT 1000 in this whole entire sector. Hey, you see the title? Does everyone see the title? Does everyone understand what that means? I'm asking a question. You dig? You dig? I'm asking a question. Do you understand? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you understand? Do we understand? Do we overstand? Do we understand, overstand, stand, whatever? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. This is your home guy. I'm Barbosa 914. Westchester County, New York, coming to you with another live video. Yo, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Because, I've been all over these YouTube streets a little bit earlier today. And, yes. It's good to know that beautiful one is leaving these YouTube streets. That woman was none but problems. She was causing problems. I consider her a faceless friend, a troll on these YouTube streets. She never fooled me from the day one that she came onto these YouTube streets. She came on the YouTubes to be a doormat. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. So shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. It is what it is. Yeah. It is what it is. I'm glad that bitch is leaving. I'm so glad that this bitch is leaving. I'm wondering why she's not going fast enough. Yeah, the Predator 101 disrespected her in a video. Predator 101 disrespected that woman in a video. I don't know if she did a response video. I don't give a fuck. The bitch is a troublemaker. The bitch is a troll. The bitch came onto the YouTube streets causing problems, confusion, chaos, anarchy. The bitch was going around paying motherfuckers to attack other YouTube creators on the YouTube streets. Yes, I said it, and I'm not taking it back. I stand on it 10 toes down. I stands on it. Bitch. I can't stand that bitch. The beautiful one. Fuck you. Yo, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. What's up, Just Jay? What's up, baby girl? You all right? You feeling okay? I'm feeling much better from what I was feeling earlier. I think I ate some chicken noodle soup. I drank a thing of coffee. I had some water. And, it is what it is. Oh, shout out to you. Just Jay, Purple Heart Podcast. Yeah, man, I was over there with you yesterday, Just Jay. I was over there with you yesterday when you went live. I think I did the replay on some of the video. Yeah, so, don't worry. I totally agree with what you just said, what you said in the video. Because I totally, I think everyone, knows and sees what happened. Those that be truthful, they know the truth. I don't know. I'm not gonna get up here and start talking, but yeah, man, these YouTube streets are really something else. They're on the verge of collapse. They're on the verge of destruction. They're on the verge of being vanquished because you got some people on here that think they are professional doxers, and what they did, they got themselves caught up in a little twist. So shout out to the YouTube streets, shout out to the chat. I made a spicy chicken sandwich. Yeah, girl, that sounds good. Where's mine's just Jay? Where's my spicy chicken sandwich? Ooh, girl, you know I don't feel good. My laugh is that weak. I was laughing good earlier. Mm-hmm. That's how I know this stuff is clearing up. I was laughing good earlier. But I was on the Facebooks and I was watching some videos over there because I like a lot of the storyline videos that I've been seeing. So I'm going to be busy a little bit. You know, I'm still going to be on the YouTubes. I'm just not going to be, over here as much as I was, you know what I mean? Because I found a different interest, you know what I mean? Shout out to the chat, if that makes sense. I know that's right, Just Jay. Yo, Just Jay, where's my spicy chicken sandwich? I sure could use me a spicy chicken sandwich right now. You know what I really miss though? And I ain't gonna lie to you. The White Castle hamburgers. They sell them in like the grocery stores. Like if you go to Walmart, Food Lion, and Family Dollar and some other places, they sell the White Castle hamburgers. I think I bought like a box of them a couple of months ago. What, $7.29 a box? That's like almost $8 for like 4 sliders. I could see they were some big ass hamburgers, but White Castles has always been small. You know what I mean? Shout out to the chat. I love me some White Castles. Mm-hmm. Hey, what's up, Mrs. V? I used to couldn't stand mustard on my hamburgers, but White Castle burgers are very, very good. They're very, very good. See, they don't have White Castles in South Carolina. They have them in New York. Hmm. I remember when I was living in Yonkers, they had one on up there on South Broadway. Yeah, South Broadway. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. I like the White Castle burgers, but I really didn't care too much for their French fries. So, sometimes I would go to White Castles, buy the hamburgers, and then walk further up Broadway and go to the McDonald's that was up there on South Broadway. That particular McDonald's was the McDonald's that DMX used to always frequent when he used to come to Yonkers. Yo, shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. They don't have White Castle here. They need to have out. Yeah, oh man, shoot. Yo, do they still sell the Hardee's hamburgers, the cheese hamburgers for $1? Cause when I was a little girl, right? Okay, like not a little girl, but when I was younger, right? And this is like around the time just before we moved down south in 1988, because I was like 15 around that time. But the year before that, we had went down south for a 2-week visit. Then we ended up going back to New York. But before we went back to New York, um, old the old dude, he had bought like a bag of them, and I think he paid like $100 for 100 hamburgers. Yo, shout out to the chat. I don't know if they. I don't even know how much they sell the little cheeseburgers now. Shout out to the chat, because when I was younger and I was living in New York, you could go to the McDonald's. The McDonald's. I don't care if you was in Mount Vernon. I don't care if you was in Yonkers. I don't care if you was in White Plains. When I was growing up, a hamburger or a cheeseburger was only 50 cents. Yep. Shout out to the chat. No, yeah, nothing is $1 anymore. Nothing is $1 anymore. You can't even give a panhandler $1 anymore. Now you got to give them what, $5, $10, $20. I remember I had this one homeboy. He was a professional hand paneler, and he used to stand right. Okay, I'm talking about right here in South Carolina, and he used to stand right over there by the hospital, because there was a McDonald's there. Okay, the McDonald's is still there, but there was a Hardee's there too. And he would go there for an hour every day. And he would just hold a sign and he would collect the dollar bills. I mean, people were giving him $10. They were giving him $20. This one person pulled up and gave him $100. Before he got off the corner of that street, he had over $200 in his pocket. Sure did. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Carl Jr.'s and Hardee's, the same, but in Carl's, it's Mark. Okay, I'll give. I know that's right. Yo, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. But yeah, I'm kind of glad that Beautiful One is moving on from the YouTube streets, because that lady knows she was a troublemaker. And people wasn't watching, and that's why people need to watch like certain videos of certain YouTube creators when it comes to the history of certain things in the sector. And people were paying her out to be a victim. This bitch was the biggest instigator. This bitch came into this fucking sector being a fucking instigator, throwing money here and there. You know what I mean? Word. Just paying. I remember one time she paid some of them crowmites to go after certain YouTubers on this platform. So me personally, I never liked Beautiful One. Fuck her. Fucking bitch. Yeah, man, but lately I've been on the Facebook, and I like a lot of the stories I've been looking at. You know, the little cartoon story. I think they AI cartoon stories, and there was this one story. Yo, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna tell y'all about this story. Hold on, let me turn on this light. I can't see a goddamn thing in this room. Yo, there was this one story, right? I was looking at, right? And it was about, and this is why I tell people to be careful of your children. You know what I mean? Don't have no strange people around your kids. I don't care if your significant other get married to someone else. If your children are not grown, you got to watch your kids. These particular stories I've been seeing on Facebook, yo, they be tripping me out. It was this one lady, right? She was married to this dude. The dude wanted a second wife. He went out and got a second wife. He seemed to love the second wife more than he loved the first wife. So you know what the lady did? The second wife, she went out and she consulted with a witch doctor. And she had got this spell where she cast it on the other wife, and the wife turned into a goat. So she took the goat and she tied it to a tree at the edge of the forest. She went back to her house like nothing had happened. So, and the goat was actually the mother of, the other young lady. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, the goat, a few days after everyone had stopped looking for the second wife, the first wife went out there and untied the goat. The goat ran. The goat ran away from the lady. So the goat ran into the village, into the compound, found her daughter, and started hanging with the daughter. Every day the goat would show up. And then one day, the stepmother told her husband, that goat comes here every day. That goat drinks up all the water. That goat eats up all the vegetables, X, Y, and Z. I think we should kill the goat. Don't you know they killed that goat? But before they killed that goat came to her daughter's dream and told the daughter, when they serve the food, do not eat the food. Do not eat none of the meat. Separate the bones. Take the bones and bury it into the ground. Yo, she took those bones and buried it into the ground. The bones cultivated themselves and they turned into this wonderful, beautiful tree. Shout out to the chat. Now, I don't know what happened for the rest of the story. I am trying to follow these stories on the Facebook page. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Yeah, Mrs. V. That's what shoot, them Facebook stories, they be getting my attention. I was looking at the Facebook stories so tough. I was looking at all of them, but that particular story, that stuck with me. That stuck with me very, very, very close. Because I don't think I told you guys, but okay. I don't know if you was walking with me, Miss V, but I know Just Jay. It was Just Jay and a few others that used to walk with me every morning to go to work. I don't know if you was in the chat that particular morning, but there was one particular morning I had started out walking, minding my own business. I didn't even take out the phone yet out of my pocket. And I felt something behind me. You know what I mean? So I turned, right? And I look, and it's this dog I've never seen before. The dog started following me down the street. So on that particular morning, my back was hurting. So I said, oh, I better sit down and rest for a minute before I start on my journey. So the dog came up, and it was just standing around. So I told the dog, I said, look, I'm not going to be responsible for you. I don't know where you came from, but you got to go back because I'm getting ready to walk down this long way to get downtown. I'm going downtown. I don't think you equipped to go with me. So I turned for a second to go get the phone. I turn and back of me, the dog is gone. All right. So I'm like, because I never seen that dog before. Now, no time in this neighborhood. And let me tell you something else, Mrs. V and Just Jay. I have been living in this neighborhood since 2021. I have never seen that dog since I've been here. And after that particular morning, I never saw the dog ever again. Shout out to the chat. I'm not saying anything, but that's when I was looking at that store on the Facebook, I said, you know what? I don't mean no harm. You know, because I remember when I was living in New York, right? And I was living in this apartment, and there was this squirrel, and he built a nest over there in the window part of where the kitchen was at. Yo, this motherfucker lived in that nest for like a couple of months. As soon as they put the building in foreclosure, I kid you not, that squirrel came back that same night, packed his shit, whatever he wanted for himself, and left. Once my friend read what was on that paper, that the building was in foreclosure, I said, oh, shit. Here we go with this. Hold on, y'all. I'm checking my all messages. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, man. But yeah, the title of this video is you see the name of the title. Basically, I'm asking if you understand, but I'm saying it in old school term words. You know what I mean? Because I notice there's only a few of us around that actually talk like that. We still ask, can you dig it? I can dig it. When someone is being a jerk or a clown, we call them jive turkeys. Yeah, so I go back to the 1970s when I want to use certain slang and terms. Yeah, shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah, but if everybody get a chance to go over to that Facebook and watch some of those stories. And they're African myth stories. But it should be like so real about life and shit. That's why I keep telling women, don't be having these strange men around your kids. You know what I mean? I always used to say that. You know what I mean? Because the way you would treat your kids is not the same way someone else would treat them. And you know, I've been going through those stories on the Facebook. Yo, some of the stories are very heart-wrenching. It's very hard to look at some of those stories. Some of the stories you can kind of like catch the gist of it or where they're gonna go with the storyline, but there's other stories you just don't catch it until like you see certain scenes or certain stuff. I gotta find out the name of that video I was telling you guys about, but it's about this dude. He marries two different women. He had a first wife and a second wife. And the first wife was jealous of the second wife. She hated the second wife. She hated the second wife's daughter. So she went out, found a witch doctor, cast a spell on the second wife. The woman turned into a goat. The goat was living in the forest after she untied it from the tree. And every morning the goat would show up and spend time with her daughter. And see, the daughter didn't know that was the mother. She didn't know that someone had cast a spell on her mother. Her mother was no longer her mother. Her mother was a goat. You know, be careful of the things you... I mean, you gotta, like, if you ever meet any type of animal, be nice to them. Be gentle to them. Especially to these crows. Crows are, I'm telling you, they are one of the smartest animals you would ever come across. If you're nice to them and you don't bother them, they remember that. Trust me, the people that are mean to them and be trying to take them away and give them a hard time, the crows remember. And believe it or not, the crows gossip. And their gossip can go from one generation to the next generation to the next generation. So if you was bad to the grandmother crow, she already told her children, she already told her grandchildren, and the grandchildren already passed it down to the great grandchildren. So be kind to the crows and to the ravens and to the pigeons, any animal that you meet. Be kind to them. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Yo, man, I gotta find out the name of that story so I can tell you guys which story it is. Anyway, you guys, I'm out. I guess I'll see y'all in the next video or perhaps in someone else's chat. Yo, thank you for coming over. Shout out to Just Jay. Shout out to Mrs. V. Yeah. So we're going to do roll call real quick. Yeah. It's just Mrs. V and Just Jay, a.k.a. Purple Heart Podcast. It's in the chat. Thank y'all for coming over. Thank you for moderating for me. Watched a movie called Shelter today with Jason Shem. That was pretty good. Oh, hell no. Yeah, man. Just Jay. Them crows are off the chain. Okay. I'm going to put it like this. If you ever come across a group of crows, don't make any sudden moves. Just walk like like it's normal, right? But if you leave food out there for them, you can leave food out there for them, they will remember you. They take pictures of your face. It's something about their eyes that automatically do face recognition. And what they do, if you're nice to them, they will tell their neighbors, look, that lady over there was nice to me. They will tell their children, they will tell their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren, and because they gossip. They gossip amongst each other. Just like how we gossip, the same thing with the crows. Same thing with the ravens. And if you're nice to them, they remember that. Now, if you're cross with them and mean to them, they remember that too. And they gossip. Matter of fact, there are certain generations of crows that will actually attack you for what their grandparent might have said about you. And that they do it all by face recognition. I don't know how the eyes do it. I don't know. I can't even sit here and lie to you and make up a scenario on how the crows are able to recognize your face. But there's something about them that they can recognize. They're very smart birds. I don't put nothing past no bird. I don't put nothing past the crow. I don't put nothing past the raven. I don't put nothing past them sparrows. I don't put nothing past blue jay. I don't put nothing against the cardinals. Any bird I see, I automatically think this one is very smart. And some of them you can actually sit very still and they will actually come, like they'll know if you're a dangerous person or not. It's something in them that just tells them you're a good person or not. And if you're a good person, 9 times out of 10, they're going to want to chill out with you. And you don't necessarily have to have food with you. Sometimes they'll just sit there and actually be, chilling with you. They'll look at you and everything else. And especially around mating season, that's your best time to make your friends with the birds. That is the best time to make friends with birds. Around the time, I'm going to tell you, between the months of March to October, that's your best time. The best time to make friends with squirrels is around that time too. And you got some squirrels that will get so used to you, they'll actually follow you home. You know what I mean? Word. Shout out to the chat. Yo, we got some very smart animals in this world. I don't mean no harm, y'all. I don't mean no harm. I don't know why these animals are so smart and why they're able to pick up on certain shit. But I want you to listen to this. How we know? Now, how do we know it ain't people in those bodies? How we know there ain't no such thing as reincarnation? How we know? Just say, just for GP, how do we know there's no such thing as reincarnation? I'm dead ass serious. Because if I die, let's say I die and pass away, and let's say I get another chance at life, I do not want to come back as a person. I want to come back as a fucking owl. An owl. A barn owl at that. I do not want to live around people. I don't want to be bothered with them. I just want to hang out by myself. It's funny how there's talk. Yeah. Bees talk to each other too. That's crazy work. Yup. Bees talk with each other. Ants talk with each other. Wasps, they communicate with each other. Spiders, all kinds of creatures. If they are a living, breathing organism and they can actually move around, even praying mantis are very intelligent creatures. And they got them plenty in New York. I haven't seen a praying mantis since I've been in South Carolina. I've been in South Carolina for over 10 years now. I've not seen that one praying mantis. But when I was in New York, they were plentiful. I'm going to tell y'all a story. There was one time, because I was living at this transitional house. It was up there on North Broadway. So there was a lady at the house that used to work at the house, and she used to love to smoke her cigarettes and come outside. She used to love to play cards and dominoes and Uno. Anyway, to make a long story short, there was one particular day she was on the porch smoking her cigarette, minding her own business, and a praying mantis came out. Well, the praying mantis had startled her. So she took a broom and knocked him down. So she thought she had killed him. He was laying up there. So you know how you go back inside the house, right? So she go back inside the house. So she come back outside because she want to smoke her cigarette. The praying mantis had woke up. It immediately looked directly at her. It didn't do nothing that night. It waited until the next day. And it came after her. Shout out to the chat. Them things are so fucking smart. You better be nice to a praying mantis too. Because they'll be your best friend. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, I'm out of here, you guys. We'll talk later. Peace. One. Thanks for coming in. Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming in. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all. One.